Hi, I'm Teresa, the dietitian, and today we're talking about men's health. So fertility foods that help promote men's health. In other words, sperm production, sperm motility, and sperm count. So the one food that I have seen that really helps support the production of sperm is the oyster. Oysters are rich in many nutrients that sperm depend on for growth and development and speed. So why is that? Oysters are high in B12 and iron. They're high in selenium. They have copper, coenzyme Q10. They have iodine, protein, healthy fats, antioxidants. They are rich in nutrients that help build and produce sperm. So today what we're going to do is we're going to do oysters 3 ways. I've done smoked oysters and I've done a baked oyster. So whatever your preference is, all these recipes are really simple to do and fairly delicious. So we'll start with the easiest one. I've got a can of smoked oysters. You can buy them in the grocery store. This cost me $2 and I've got 9 oysters in here. So what you do is you just take this little cracker, any favorite cracker. I have a really seedy, grainy cracker because if you're gonna eat a cracker, I think you should make sure it's full of nutrients. So take the smoked oyster, pop it on the cracker, and you eat it just like that. This is how my son really enjoys smoked oysters. That's how he eats them. So that's great. So that's number 1, really, really simple. The second one I'm gonna do is we're going to do an oyster dip. So for the holidays, I figure an oyster dip is a great way to get things started. So I'm starting with some cream cheese. I'm adding freshly chopped chives. You can, these are green onions, sorry. You can add chives or green onions. These ones are green onions. I'm adding a little bit of parsley. I'm gonna add a couple of oysters. I'm gonna add 4, 3, 4. So these are smoked oysters in oil, okay? I'm gonna add a little bit of lemon juice and the zest. So I personally like things really lemony, but if you don't, you can add a little bit less. Lemons always, when I think of lemons, I think of vitamin C, and vitamin C is a really strong antioxidant, which really helps build and protect sperm. So I'm gonna do a little bit of the zest, just like that. Again, this is gonna be, and then I like a lot of black pepper personally. So a couple of grinds of the black pepper, a few shakes of the salt. Oysters can be a little salty already, so you don't need too much salt. And then what you're gonna do is just mix this all together. Gotta crush these little guys a little bit. And then you can serve this on a baguette, you can serve it on a cracker, you can serve it with some veggies. Okay, there we go. So, see? And it smells kind of like the ocean, right? It's got a little lemon, a little of that oceany smell, which is really great. And then you just put it on a cracker like this. You can top it with hot sauce if you want. And there you go. Super, super good. So that is oysters number 2. Now I use the smoked oysters. There's also canned oysters that aren't smoked. If you don't like the smoky flavor, you can also use those because those are cooked and ready to go. So it's up to you. Now we're going to do the oysters baked. So this one is a little bit more involved. I have my tray and I'm going to just put some rice at the bottom here, just so that they don't rock when you put them in the oven. Now, I wasn't going to shuck an oyster. So if you're not comfortable shucking an oyster, which personally I am not, I'm taking my oysters, this is what they look like, putting them on the bed of rice, just like that. You put the cup side down so that the juices stay in there. And you're just gonna put that in the oven until they pop. So while that's going, we're going to mix our mixture. So I've done all these fresh ingredients, of course, trying to make sure that I get as many nutrients as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a breadcrumb topping with some cheese and some herbs. So we've got the breadcrumbs here. I'm adding freshly chopped dill, a little paprika. Now, dill is a green herb, so that means it has antioxidants in it, which is really healthy for you. I'm adding a little bit of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, actually. And extra virgin olive oil is the oil that is the most researched when it comes to fertility measures. So I would say stick with extra virgin olive oil whenever you're doing any cooking or prepping. So then we're going to add some lemon. Okay. And then we've got freshly grated Parmesan cheese. And dairy is one of these things that, you know, some people enjoy cow's dairy, some people don't. But dairy is one of these things actually that when it comes to fertility health, studies show that those who consume dairy, full fat dairy, actually have higher fertility outcomes than those that don't. So the exact mechanism as to why, we're not quite sure, but it does promote dairy intake. So this is our topping. We're going to mix that together. Like that. Now, when the oysters pop in the oven, then you take them out, remove the lid, and put this breadcrumb topping on top, and then bake them again for another 10 minutes until the breadcrumbs come nice and crispy. And then that's it. So I've got some already made here. So when they come out of the oven, you pop the top off. Here's what they look like. So you bake them, and as soon as they come out of the oven, I personally top them with hot sauce because I like them hot, a little bit spicy. And you take a little fork and pop them in your mouth, and they're delicious. That's it for now. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time.